interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
Look at him, he's like a beacon of fluorescent light. Alright, we're ready. So I could sync up the video so they're in the same spot. The spike of the sound, the two cameras. It's movie-making magic, Mom. Finally another road trip. It's been gone way too long. Way too long. Big Bird and I are off to something I'm very excited for that I have actually, despite all my years of living in Southern California, have never been to before. And that is Death Valley National Park. I'm very excited. A lot of sights to see there. It's February, so it's still going to be warm, but it won't be unbearably hot at this time of the year because it is known as one of the most hot places in the world. It's about it's about a 300-mile journey there. Mostly straight highway, very little to no curve, so it's going to be a lot of desert highway going in a straight line for a very long time, which doesn't make for the most exciting vlog in the world, but I'm sure I can entertain you with my wit and banter. If any of you are interested, this is the high school I went to. Go Troy Warriors! Haven't had the FJR out for quite some time. Looks good, clean. Just had some maintenance done to it. Front fork seals replaced. New tires. He's got the brand new Pilot Road 5s on there, which I'm curious to get his opinion on. I have the Pilot Road 4s on here, and I noticed that the rear tire before I left is about donezo, so I'm a little bit worried about this trip, but it's just me, so the weight's a little lighter. So hopefully we'll be okay. Because where we're going is pretty desolate, and not a whole lot in the motorcycle repair shop with tire inventory situation. So where's Death Valley? For those of you that don't know, that don't live in the area, it is, again, it's a national park. It's located in eastern central California, on the north side of the Mojave, direct southeast from Yosemite National Park. And I also got a very large investment, a little more than I would prefer to spend, but I got the sergeant seat, both rider and pillion. Not cheap, but I can tell you already, just from the 20 miles I've done, it is definitely more comfortable. You know, it's funny. The GS stock seat, it was really not very comfortable. I know that motorcycle manufacturers, they can't make everything the best, because if they use the top quality, or if they didn't cut any corners, motorcycles would be too expensive and people wouldn't buy them. I understand that concept, but I would think for a touring, adventure touring, high-end bike like the GS, something where you're going to clock a lot of long miles, the seat is not the area that you would choose to cut a corner. Put a comfortable seat on there. And I'm like kind of a skinny dude too. It's not like I have a bunch of weight on my ass, but my like inner crotchal area got sore from that seat. So it's a little annoying, whatever. I had to bite the bullet and get the sergeants. And now my butt is as cozy as can be. Well, we've got a whole bunch of freeway time, so I'm going to go ahead and sign off, and I will check back in when we're in a more desolate area. Update, we're moving on to the Highway 15 North, with the road to Las Vegas. And it wouldn't be a road trip without some traffic. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. So we're actually staying on the east side of the park, across the Nevada border. So we're actually crossing the border and staying in Nevada at some probably one-star casino. It's great as I have these floodlights on the front, these yellow floodlights, which I've shown before, and people just move, man. They just move out of the way. cool. Those things almost look amphibious. If anybody's in the military watching, tell me what that is, 'cause I don't know. Okay. Moving off of Highway 15 onto 395 North. This is a beautiful road, which actually I've never done on a motorcycle before. We're not on it very long, but this goes all the way up through Yosemite and then carries on to, I'm not sure where it ends, but just basically on the east side of the Sierras all the way through California, all the way to the top. It's a beautiful road. Mammoth Mountains up there, Yosemite National Park. But we're going to stop for some lunch here momentarily in the town of Adelanto. Alrighty. Thank you, Denny's and Adelanto, for that marginal meal. You guys do this every time I go for a big motorcycle ride, any motorcycle ride, but especially when I'm packing gear too. I just have this constant fear that I have forgotten something, that I've left something on the table at Denny's, that my wallet's sitting somewhere else, that I left the trunk open accidentally. It's just OCD. It's one of the down things about motorcycles, isn't it? Is that there's so much more crap you have to keep track of. With the car, you just get in and go and everything stays in the car. But I got pockets all over the place. I got two side bags, and a trunk, and a tank bag. And all of them carry different things. And I gotta make sure everything's there all the time. Tummy's full after that marginal meal at Denny's. Gas tank is full. We got about 204 miles there on the GPS to go, which is not that far in a straight line. And that's it. Here we go, on to the 395. Highway 395. This is a great road. It's just a good, wide, open road. It really gives you appreciation. When people think of California, they think of probably congested freeways and beaches. And that's true, there is a lot of that in California, but people don't realize or remember how big California is. It's vast. I mean, it's the third largest state after Alaska and Texas. It's huge. And a lot of it is this, wide open desert. Now we arrive in Kramer's Junction. Ooh, this is Highway 58 intersecting here. Highway 58 is the road I took out to the water. I can't even think. The Central Coast. About 100 miles that way. This is a really great road. We're not going that way. We're going the other way. We're going to the desert. We're going east. I'll tell you, straight highways like this, cruise control, man. Oh gosh, it's awesome. I know they have those cramp busters, and I think that's what he's got on the FJR, but just being able to rest your right hand and take it off completely, worth it. GoPro is probably not picking it up, but if you can see that white bulbous thing over the hill, that's a prison up there. I think it's a federal penitentiary. Not sure which one it is, but the really, really bad people go there. Don't pick up hitchhikers unless you want to end up being somebody's soup. You know what? It might actually be closed. Now, wouldn't that be interesting to go explore that? I bet it's closed, but I bet you can't ride up there very far. I'm sure it's all gated up. We're coming up to our turnoff up here on a road called Trona. I guess it's Trona, T-R-O-N-A. It goes out in the middle of nowhere. But before we go turn off this road, there are two towns up here that have always baffled me, back to back. One's called Red Mountain and the other one's called Johannesburg. I'm assuming Red Mountain is named after that because that mountain's red. But these two towns are like the things that nightmares are made of. It's like something out of a Stephen King book. Full on, the hills have eyes. Here we are, Red Mountain. Population 130. I mean, really, who lives here? 150 people live here. That's actually more than I would have guessed. But what's their business? Is there mining back here? There might be mining back here. But I mean, look at that. Look at that. What? Crazy. It's crazy. That place was abandoned. But somebody live in that place?
I have no idea.
It's crazy. There it is, Death Valley, 112 miles. And this is a road I've never been on, so this is all new to me. Love it. You gotta stop and get that social media pic. Okay, so from Trono we go to Furnace Creek. And Furnace Creek is one of the places, the sites in Death Valley. So now we're on to California State Highway 178 eastbound. This is my favorite part about motorcycling. I love road trips. I love going somewhere and staying a night or doing a tour. And this is a big reason why I just don't put that many videos out anymore. It's just, I don't, you know what I mean? I just don't want to like ride around town and talk about some topic or go to some restaurant. It's just, I've run out of steam on that front. This, however, still excites me. Being on a road in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of a desert that I've never been on before, with this beautiful desert scenery, a new road, exploring, I love it. I love it. We stopped for gas and we noticed that the front rim on the FJR is bent. Not cool. He remembers hitting something on the road a couple days ago. And, that must have been it, because the tires were just put on that thing. And there's no way the mechanic would have not seen that, changing the tires. There's no way. So we think it just happened. Well, we're just going to pretend like I didn't notice. And look at this view. It's so cool. I think I think this basin down here is where we're probably going to be entering the park soon. It's pretty neat. We've got 93 miles to go, but a lot of that is actually through the park. I think I fell asleep for a second there. No, I'm joking. 1 mile, we make a left on Panamint Valley Road. This bent rim of his back there is kind of cast a little bit of a shadow. It's not even my bike and it's bothering me. But I mean, there's literally nothing that we can do but ride. I mean, there's nothing around here. Our cell phones don't work either. We've got to push on. So that's what we do. We push on through the great Death Valley. We are the Stagecoach Hotel and Casino. This is what we're saying. Alright, we're here. Oh my god! Oh, look at this! I have not turned in I don't even know how long. 15 miles?